Okay, good evening, everyone. It is 6:02. We're going to call this meeting to order. Connie, did you want to?
I just want to identify the people that are on Zoom. I see Helen Holt. I just want to make sure that we have that. I see Sean Morrow. I think I see Pam Corbett. If that's not the case, please say so. And then I would just ask who Jay is. If Jay wants to come off mute and tell us who you are.
Jacob Settle.
Great, thank you. So,
Okay, great.
thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We will get started by setting our rules for these meetings for the next year. We have worked on filling out the VLCT model rules tailored to our meetings. So I will entertain a motion to adopt a new set of rules.
So moved.
Second.
Steve, since you made the motion, would you like anything to say on the discussion right away?
No, I'm good with everything.
Okay, so I will just point out some important points. One thing is these are meetings of the select board conducted in public. These are not meetings of the public. They're open to the public, but they're a limited public forum. So I just, for folks in the members of the public to understand that you will have an opportunity to express your opinions, but this is not your meeting. And also public comment is open to all members of the general public, not just residents of Townshend. And we will be working with just a 3-minute time limit for comments so we can keep things moving, so we can actually get through the meetings and not be here longer than necessary. And you know, we have limitations to that if we start losing order. So I will just leave it there. If there's any more discussion, any other questions that folks have on this? Otherwise, we can go to a vote.
There is a packet.
I would
here if
have a
anyone
question
wants
about
it.
some of the, letting anybody, like members of the public speak, where it's like if they're not town residents, that's opening the door up to just anybody could roll in here and carry on, and there's no way to shut them off.
Well, we do have the authority to call on members of the public, so people don't just get to start talking when they feel like saying something. So, you know, we do have that discretion, but I do hear that concern. This is also, you know, when we have folks like Corey, for example, who is not a resident here, but maybe does have some
I
vested interests.
understand the reasons why. I'm not saying
Got
that we don't want to be open-ended, and next thing we're into a scenario where people just come in and start firing off the hip on us.
Sure.
So.
I will say that I received some VLCT feedback on this, and their statement is that the people are allowed to participate in their government, so it doesn't matter what town they live in or anything like that. That's what they had said about it, because I asked for some clarity on what that means.
What does their government mean?
That's all they were.
Well, their government isn't really, I mean, I wouldn't consider, if you're in Vermont, to be like you could roll to California and hop into somebody's town meeting or select board meeting, or board of aldermen or whatever they have in whatever area there is in the whole United States of America. So it's like their meeting isn't really anything to do with Townsend's meeting. So I mean, I would kind of, I just think there could be some gray area there where it's, you know, it'd be good to maybe go through it a bit more. And I mean, I didn't read it every word out of it either, so.
Yeah. John, I saw a hand up. Would you like to say something?
I didn't exactly hear you. Did you say people can only talk for 3 minutes?
We'll have a 3-minute time limit.
Who came up with that?
It is just in the recommendations in the LCT model. So we just set 3 minutes. Could be 3, could be 5, could be 1. We set 3 just to think that's a fair amount for somebody to make an opinion heard without derailing the conversation for the board meeting. Any other discussion? All right, the motion on the floor is to approve the VLCT
I got one
model
bit more
rules.
discussion. I almost wouldn't mind tabling it till the next meeting, so to speak, so that we could look through it. I mean, like I said, I haven't read it.
Sure.
And not, maybe I won't read it by the next meeting, I don't know. But
I'm in
we'd have
support
to-
of that, if you wanna.
Well, I just think, sure, I don't know, there's a few things that.
Everybody should be able to know everything that's involved in this.
Shall we take a vote on tabling it then?
Yes.
Okay. All those in favor of tabling this to the next meeting?
Aye.
All right. We will table it for now. Then we can move on to approval of the minutes. Do I hear a motion to approve the February 24th meeting minutes?
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Who made the motion?
Rob.
I'm sorry.
We'll correct the year.
Okay, so we have the year 2024, 25, should be 26. Any other corrections to make to the meeting minutes? Hearing none. Ready to vote. All those in favor of approving the meeting minutes of the February 2024, 2026 Select Board meeting?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, all those opposed? Any abstentions? All right. We have two additions to the agenda tonight. We have some correspondence that we received today from the town clerk, and then we have an executive session that we're adding to discuss personnel and legal matters. Members of the public, anyone like to be recognized from the public for something that's not on the agenda later? Okay. Then we can move on to the correspondence from the town clerk. We received this today, March 10th. It says, to the select board, I'm writing to inform you after this evening, the town clerk's office will again close at 4 p.m. on the second and fourth Tuesdays. We have been open until 6 p.m. for 5 years. During that time, I have had less than 10 people come into my office. I, of course, will still be able to come in for scheduled appointments. I'm going to follow the Wyndham town clerk's lead, and the town clerk's office will be closed when the schools have a delayed start or are closed due to weather. All right, move on to the warrants. Do I hear a motion to approve the warrant?
That's, by the time you get done with that, I wanna put it on record that that's hours and hours and hours of time throughout the year that could be possibly the place is closed. That we're paying her for a lump sum as it is, and then once you take off an hour here and an hour there and a school closure and a this and that and everything else, it turns into days and days and days of vacation between all of the other stuff too, so it's, I'm not in favor of it. I don't think it's funny, and it's, you know, we're paying for somebody to be here that isn't here.
Yeah. Well, there's no action for us to take on that. It's just the correspondence right now, but your concerns are noted for sure.
Thank you.
Moving on to the warrants. Do I hear a motion to approve the warrants?
Make a motion to approve the warrants, starting with number 1, payroll, in the amount of $12,746.87. Number 2, payroll tax, in the amount of $4,557.33. Number 3, general fund, in the amount of $11,499.91. Number 4, highway fund, in the amount of $31,531, for a total of $60,304.42.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All right, we can move to a vote on approving the warrants for the March 10th, 2026. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? And any abstentions?
Aye.
Did I hear a vote from you, Rob?
Yes, aye.
401. Okay, let's move on to our highway report. Jeremy.
Not much to report. Mud season is fastly approaching.
Yep.
I'm gonna post roads this week. With any luck, we'll get lucky like we did last year. Not had much to deal with. So far, it's so good. So, that's about it.
When do we open the steepway?
Not until April 15th.
I think it was the 15th, yeah.
There's a sign on Steepway.
Oh,
I
it
pulled
knows the
sign
date?
till this-
Okay,
till- and even then, there might still be snow and ice on it. I'm not
Right.
gonna rush.
okay.
The longer people stay off it, the better condition they'll stay in, so.
Yeah. Any other questions for highway foreman? No. All right, thank you, Jeremy. We can move on to the treasurer's report. Alicia, before I turn it over to you, I'll just read our bank statements. We have $1,362,559.18 in our checking account, $30,000 in the sweep account as usual. And then our new treasurer. Anything you want to add and share with the residents?
Very happy to be here. This section will be a little more robust going forward. It's been a very eventful first week, just getting accounts switched over and logins and getting a feel for the ropes. But we're in a good place, and we had a meeting with a potential assistant today, still waiting to hear back. So very excited to continue moving forward.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
We are excited to work with you. For our town clerk, from February 16th to the 28th, she brought in a total of $627.50. And chair report, nothing new to report today. Gone over the rules. We'll adjust that further next meeting. But for now, I'm excited. Thank you, Allie, for your role in this as a chair the last couple of years, and I'm excited to serve in this role now. Grant coordinator, we will get to you at the end of the month. And now we can move on to our new business, Select Board Officer Designation. So we have, I guess technically what we did was elected a temporary chair. So we could do permanent chair,
Solidify
vice
that.
chair, and the clerk position. So do I hear a motion for either of those three?
I'd like to nominate Nick for chair of the select board.
I'll second that.
And nominate Katie to be vice chair of the select board.
I second that.
And I nominate Rob to be the clerk.
Second.
Second that. Excellent. Well then, the motion on the table is to have myself as the chair, Katie as the vice chair, and Rob as the clerk. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Hold on, can we vote for ourselves or do we have to abstain?
I think we can vote for ourselves. Yeah.
Let's vote.
We're not paying ourselves. Any, all those opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. Board resolutions. So, I'll just introduce this briefly. In some discussions with our lawyer, he had recommended that we adopt a board resolution, essentially saying that in kind of an emergency circumstance, if there is some action needed, that we authorize the board or not the board, the chair, or in absence of the chair, the vice chair, to take whatever necessary action in between meetings. This kind of came up a little bit with the truck mishap. Just sometimes things come up. And so he recommended that we adopt a board resolution. That would be good for the year. So that being said, do I hear a motion to adopt this board resolution?
Is it something we'll write out and we'll sign, or how does that work?
That's a great question.
I think we should write it out.
We could write it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then adopt.
And then adopt it.
Yes.
So we can bring it up for next meeting?
Yes.
All right. So that is introduction there. We'll handle that at the end of the month. Then we have some treasurer transition updates. So as we've heard, we have our new treasurer, Alicia, here with us. And there's just a couple things that we need to sort out. One of those being who are authorized check signers. So as we were preparing for the transition, we weren't sure who we were going to have, what was going to be the situation. So we have a few people in town hall that were authorized to be check signers. I think now we can probably motion that to be just solely the treasurer and one other designee.
I'd make a motion to assign Alicia Stratford, that's her thing, as the primary signer, and then Connie as a co-signer, Connie Holt as a
I
co-signer.
second that.
Any discussion on that?
Are you all right with that?
Yeah, and Alicia, you may want to weigh in on this. I think currently we have the treasurer and the assistant finance office person. And we were concerned that maybe two in one department was maybe a conflict of interest. So that's why Rob's proposal may make sense to have someone inside and outside your
I
department.
like this proposal.
Okay.
I was gonna bring it up some other time. I feel like after 1 week I'm getting my bearings, but we were gonna reduce the number of signers soon. I like this change.
Good,
Great.
Good.
thank you.
Yeah.
And I would just like to say that it's a breath of relief to have the town treasurer at a select board meeting who could be here to answer questions, financial questions that we've had for years and years and years and could never get answered. And can have someone here sitting at a select board meeting to answer those questions is a breath of relief.
Thank you.
Second.
Agree with that. Okay, any other discussion on that motion? The motion on the floor is to have Alicia Stratford as a primary check signer and Connie Holt as a secondary check signer. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? And any abstentions? Okay. Excellent, thank
And then
you.
we'll fill out that form for the municipal banking,
Which one?
the one that I gave you the other day.
Oh, we're working on that.
Okay.
It's being handled.
Okay.
Any other pieces on this end? Blanket on, Connie? Before we move on?
I don't think there's any other transition issues.
Yeah. Anything on
I
your top of your mind, Alicia, that we need to?
Not today.
Excellent. Then we can move on to our auditor's monthly report. So this was voted by the residents that we provide a monthly update. So we will do those at the beginning of the month. We don't have.
Beginning of the month at the first meeting.
First meeting.
We gotta get.
You're right. You gotta be very
I
judicious with our words here. First meeting of the month, we will provide
And who
those
is
auditor
we?
monthly reports. The select board.
Okay. I thought we had talked about at town meeting that most of it was the treasurer. So
Well,
that's why we were kind
The
of,
select board will report. These are select board meetings. We report out on it. That being said, Alicia, I know that you and I have been talking about some changes that you were thinking of. Obviously, I don't think we're going to have any big changes since we just had town meeting last week.
No. During town meeting, it was voted that the select board report on it. That being said, I feel like the information that would be reported on should come from me. I would give it to the board for approval and
Okay.
report on it, but I can give you that information, yes.
Yeah. So, this first one, not a lot to report back on, but we will have some more updates as we move along through the year. Appointments. We are not going to be making appointments today. I just wanted to have this on the agenda so that we could essentially announce that we want to be updating these appointments for the ensuing year. Considering that we have a solid emergency management committee that has been meeting, we have a common committee that we want to continue meeting. We'll discuss committees further in a moment. And town events coordinator, we talked about it last year and it didn't really go much. I'm going to propose that we leave those three, local aid coordinator, town events coordinator, and the keeper of the common vacant, and don't appoint those for the ensuing year. But we will be, Connie, I believe you plan to be reaching out to folks, seeing if they're interested in continuing. And we will hopefully be able to vote on these at the next meeting in March. That brings me to committees. Over the last couple of years, we've had a few committees, specifically the General Fund Committee, the Highway Committee, that are really monitoring expenditures, budgets, projects for the highway. We've had a Commons Committee that has been providing some input as to, for example, the lawn care, the tree care,
the gazebo.
the gazebo. We're also considering if we actually go through and form the Ethics Committee, potentially an IT committee. We've had some questions, concerns over our IT and cybersecurity provider, and just making sure that we're getting the best bang for our buck. And then some things that have come up in the auditor's report is just some of these outdated policies, being that we're a board of 5 that aren't really being, this is not our job, this is more volunteer than anything. It is just a lot for us to take on as any individuals. So potentially we could form a policy committee that is really looking at some specific policies and providing some feedback and suggestions for updating. So again, I think these are not things that we're going to be appointing today, but just some things for us to consider and that we can bring up in the future and see if we can get some movement in some of these areas where we've gotten stuck sometimes. So any questions?
Two things.
Yeah.
It was raised with me earlier, and I think it's just a good point to reiterate that these are non-decisionary committees.
Right.
Everything that, the work that they do, if it results in a proposal, it's a proposal to the select board.
Right.
It's the select board who is the governing body of these. And then the second thing is, when do I post for them? The board should direct me as to how do I announce these? Can I do it tomorrow? Do I wait till after the next meeting? You should just give me some direction. If we're going with these committees, and when do you want me to post for them?
Yeah.
I mean, my ask is, who decides who's on the committee? I mean, I ran the highway department for 6 years. Do you think I was on the committee for the highway department? No, I wasn't invited for that.
There was
I could have given so much input and historical
I don't think
data.
it existed at that time.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
also-
right.
Also, everybody was
Didn't.
invited.
At least,
No. No.
yep.
I will say
I
these.
believe, I know personally that that the highway committee that I've been involved in has been a 1 or 1.5 year to 2 year committee since Jeremy came on. So I'm not aware of any committees that existed before 1.5 years to 2 years ago.
I will say these committee meetings have been open to the public, which includes ourselves. So absent a formal invitation, we're all still welcome to join those and voice our opinions.
Well, not to interrupt you, but I
Please.
believe that if whoever's on the committee is fine, but anybody is welcome to join in on any committee meeting.
Right.
So as long as they know what it is, they
Right.
can show up, and
Right.
they're just not gonna be part of the procedures of giving the recommendation to the select board.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yep. Any thoughts on the actual committees or something that you want to see that isn't there right now? I have a feeling maybe we're not going to be appointing these tonight, but
No.
while we're just getting our ducks in a row here.
The first time I had reached out in a capacity other than, hey, I need to license my dog, was when they posted about the ethics committee, and I reached out several times saying that I was very interested in being a part of that, and it kind of just, other things became more important on the agenda.
Sure.
And and I asked you about that on town meeting day, so I'm still very interested in that. And I do think having a committee, and you're right, anybody can sign up for it and or attend. I don't know how they're selected once people do sign up, I'm new to this. But I personally know people who are very interested in an IT committee, who are very smart and are able to lend some clarity and some information that would make it just having people in the room that can explain things in a way that makes sense when it's not your specialty is good to have.
Yeah. Thank you.
well, historically, I believe that when it comes to any of the committee that goes on, if there's a vote that they're putting in, they want to have an odd number, and if there's not a vote, you can have however many people you'd like, whether it's 2, 4, 20, whatever. So committee doesn't really have a number of, a minimum number or maximum number. But if you're coming to a vote, you want to have an odd number so that you don't have deadlock. But from there, anybody can be on a committee, and it can be of any numerical.
And we haven't
piece.
had the problem where we had too many people.
Yeah, I
We
know.
have?
No, we have not.
Oh, yeah.
I don't anticipate that being the case, no.
And at least it doesn't go on for too many weeks.
No.
You might have too many one time.
Like
but
I think
it
we
doesn't-
had 7 for the trash committee last year.
Yeah.
So that was a high number.
So are we going with these committees initially and posting for them? Are we making that decision tonight, or people want to think about it and do it at next meeting?
Did you say you were just mentioning them tonight?
My thought is mentioning it tonight, and we can bring it up for next meeting. If folks want to show some interest, we can They can send their interest to you and we can appoint them at the next meeting. That's my opinion, but I don't know. Anyone else?
No, that's fine with me.
Okay.
I mean, people could, if they saw that we were having one of these committee meetings, they could show up without being appointed to the committee and
Correct.
participate
Correct.
as well, right? I
Yeah.
mean, that's pretty much how we've done
I
it so
think-
far.
Yeah,
The only
and I
thing
think
we've
that's what
been
Rob was
careful-
saying, is really it's down to the voting, not necessarily participation.
We've just been careful not to have more than 2 select board members,
Right.
so it doesn't have to be warned as a select board meeting.
Yeah.
Right. Still warned,
Yeah,
but they're not select board meetings at that stage. So if we're all
So
comfortable,
we'll
we'll just,
solidify next week.
yeah, we'll appoint them at the next meeting, but folks, anyone in the public as well, can send any interest at this stage to you, so that we at least have some idea of folks that we might want on there. Okay, our last order of new business, we have the Carlson request for a road name change. So we received a request from Peter and Roxanne Carlson on Schoolhouse Road, one word. Essentially, in 1998, they were informed that their address would be Schoolhouse as one word. But that change didn't actually happen, and it has been Schoolhouse as 2 words. And then there's just been some confusions with various systems not actually being able to verify their address properly. And they're asking us to basically redo that and make sure that it is just one word, Schoolhouse. So I understand Helen is on the phone. Helen, do you have anything you can add or any questions that we might have that you could answer to?
Not really. I mean, they made the request and then you guys voted it down. Since then, they have found this letter that, from 1988 that promised that it was Schoolhouse and all one word.
Mm-hmm.
So I told her there's really, as an E911 coordinator, nothing I can do, but she could put the request back into the select board to have them reconsider. Now they found that letter.
Yeah.
I'd make a motion to, I don't know, are we directing somebody to change it to this?
Would it be our
How does it
E911?
work?
The Emergency 911 coordinator?
Yeah.
Helen, is that what it, is it,
That, and I believe that there's a street sign that says it's 2 words right now, so then you'd need to get a new sign.
But we make the directive to change it to the Schoolhouse as one word to the Emergency 911 coordinator?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you once you pass that, I will inform the E911 database in Montpelier and they will update all the systems.
Okay.
So my motion is to direct the Emergency 911 coordinator to change the name of Schoolhouse Road, being 2 words now, to 1 word, as in schoolhouse, and then the second word, road.
Second.
Any other discussion there? Helen, was that you trying to say something, or
I just put her on mute, I think
Okay.
she was just making a noise.
hope she didn't have anything to say there? Okay, hearing no further discussion, the motion is to change Schoolhouse Road to 1 word and instruct our E911 coordinator to make that change. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, 5-0-0.
Chair, is that something that we can get ordered?
tomorrow.
Perfect, thank you.
Excellent. Thank you all. And that is the end of our regular agenda. We do have some executive sessions pursuant to Vermont Statute 1 VSA 313, 1B and 1E to discuss personnel matters and legal matters. Do I hear a motion to enter executive session?
so moved.
Second.
If you'd like to invite anybody to join us. Connie and Jeremy.
Connie and Jeremy.
Oh, yep. How do you need to amend your motion, Ally?
Oh, and we'll include Connie and Jeremy.
Second, the amendment.
Okay, we're going to be entering executive session with Connie and Jeremy. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Do I hear a motion from our executive session around a resignation we received?
I move to accept the resignation from
Leonard Reynolds.
Leonard Reynolds of the Highway Department.
Effective March 20th.
Oh, effective March 20th.
Your second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And we're talking about posting for that position. A motion for that?
I'd make a motion to post the position in the Commons and online
On the website.
website, town website.
Website, yeah.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Right. Any other business? Ready? Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.